Before we begin, please note that this episode includes discussion of suicide and other emotionally heavy themes. We encourage listener discretion, especially for those who may find these topics difficult.
Previously on Chat 62, Mike Francis reflected on leadership, responsibility, deployment, loss, and the lessons that stayed with him long after his time in uniform. In part 3, we discussed the realities of carrying responsibility for other Marines, the bonds that endure after service, and the importance of staying connected when life gets difficult. Today, we conclude Mike's story. In this final chapter, Mike reflects on life after the Marine Corps, finding purpose beyond the uniform, building meaningful connections, and the work he's doing today through Tales from the Corps and the Shakker networking platform. This is Chat 62. I'm Eric, and this is Mike Francis, Part 4. Real quick before we start, we've streamlined our contact info. From now on, if you have any questions, feedback, or ideas for future guests, just shoot us an email at chat62podcast@gmail.com. All right, let's fucking go. I may have asked this in another kind of form, but I'm going to ask it again. What experience still sticks with you today?
I think for me, the biggest thing is sense of purpose, which I've found mine, and being able to commit. Persistence is huge. And, so for example, when we started posting our TikToks, and granted, I never did this to get like a ton of likes and stuff like that or anything. But whether you have a business, whether you have a podcast, like I've got multiple things, right? When you're posting, the average human being, they get their dopamine shots from the likes, the shares, the comments. And when it doesn't happen, when you don't have the subscribers on your YouTube channel, you don't have the followers on your fucking TikTok for your business and stuff yet, a lot of people mail it in. They quit, they give up because they don't think that they're not successful because they're comparing themselves to people that have done it for years.
Yeah.
And where I'm going with all this, right? The biggest thing that's really stuck with me. Marines are very, very good at just surviving day after day through shitty experiences. We have that very unique ability of just living in the suck. No attaboys, no good job, no, hey, you're doing great. Just every day sucks. Every day sucks. But you know what? You just get up, like I said earlier, the next day, take that next step. And when you do those things, those are the same things that successful people do. Like successful people started from nothing and they build and they build and they build. And we all have that in us. We all have it in us long enough to hang out and survive the suck. So if you have a business and you're posting and nobody's following, nobody's doing this, that, the other thing, let the dopamine come from you're doing what it takes. You're doing what successful people do. So for me, I don't give a fuck. Nobody could watch the TikTok I posted last night. I don't give a fuck. You know what? I posted it. I posted it at 6:30 like I do every single day. That's what people who are successful and run successful podcasts do. That's what I do. I did, I took the step of what it takes to be successful. And I think I told you in 30 days time, we're up over 120,000 views. When literally that number was down in the single or double digits a month ago. And I didn't hack anything. I didn't buy, I didn't pay, I didn't do ads. I was persistent. I am going to continue doing this and not quit because I'm a Marine and I'm a glutton for punishment. And those two things go hand in hand. And if you have those two things, that's the recipe for success.
You're going to be all right.
You're going to be all right, man. You're going to be all right.
What did your time in service teach you about yourself?
Yeah, I think how much shit I can endure. And, again, just being a business-minded guy and wanting to see our brothers and sisters succeed. we can endure some shit.
Yeah.
We can, man. We can persevere. We can endure some shit. We have what it takes to continue to do great things beyond the Marine Corps.
Amen to that. Let's go ahead and talk about after service. We did talk about what life was like that first year as a civilian. I mean, a couple years after that.
Yeah.
And you did mention, you were working some jobs and you just realized, hey, there's something better out there for me. I'm better than this, right? What was harder for you, joining the Corps or leaving the Corps?
Yeah, dude, that's such a great question, man. It's something we asked a drill instructor buddy of ours one time. Actually, I don't know if we asked it. It just came out in conversation that leaving is harder than joining. But if you wanted to get back in, ironically enough, that's harder than either of those two. I don't know if you did it. I know like a bunch of people, especially around that we got out in that 04 to 08 era. And we like, it's so funny. No one would ever tell you, but then a podcast, right, comes out. We're having conversations. And the number of people that went back to the recruiter's office to try to get back in. And the Marine Corps makes it really hard for you to get back in, which is weird.
Really?
Yeah. Someone explained it to me. Arrogance of the Marine Corps. You chose to leave us, and we're not going to make it easy for you to get back in.
That's a great way to put it.
I mean,
yeah.
It feels accurate and true. It feels
That's
like it feels like a true Marine Corps principle.
Yeah.
You left. Fuck you.
Now get prepared to jump through these hoops and, let's see if you got what it takes to get back in.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
That's a big if.
Right. Yeah.
Who were you afraid of you might become after taking the uniform off?
Man, I don't know. I think just when you get out after all of that, you just really, truly you still don't really know what the hell's going on. I got out with no plan, no college, no job, no anything lined up. I think I don't really have had any concerns because I was just, like I said, I was kind of joking, but like, I'll go work at McDonald's. I'll ride around on the scooter with the hat. Like you get so tired and burnt out on certain things that you kind of almost don't care what happens as long as it's over. And then you miss it. I think I'd probably got to a point where, because I was talking about some of the shitty jobs that I was doing, was maybe like that's who, like, after I got out and started doing those things, that's where I was kind of afraid where I was going to get stuck. And I just knew, it's like I'm built and meant for something more.
Yeah.
And I let a little bit of that fear, a little bit of that knowledge to motivate me to the next place and just figure it out. Just figure it out.
Yeah, that's the best way to put it. I think that's in all of our heads, is that there's something out there better for us. I think that was just ingrained in us during that time in the service.
Yeah.
In spite of just everything we fucking went through, when we got treated like shit, when times were rough, all of that just kind of worked its way towards that point of there's going to be something out there better for you. And that is something we do take outside into the civilian world.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and let's talk about life today and continued influence. So what does life look like for you today?
Yeah, life today is just super busy. We have got a multitude of things going on between the networking app Shakker, the podcast, and it's just putting in the work, man. It is just showing up, doing it every single day. No excuses why something doesn't get done. Just putting in the time, the energy, the effort. I had that event in San Francisco. That was incredible. We met some really great tech folk and investors and people that aligned with us and what we're doing. We've got incredible. I mean, dude, like some of the people we got feedback from, and these are dudes that they've built things, and you realize, man, that could be like, I could do a whole podcast on this next thing. So I'm going to try to keep it short. When you are building something and you're really doing something big, sometimes you get a little nervous to say it, like saying like, oh, I'm CEO, founder of a tech startup. That's a weird fucking thing to say, until you say it enough. And you have that like imposter syndrome. You're in a new place, and it can happen anywhere. It happen in college, it happen in a new job, happen anywhere, right? And then you go into this room that has all of these people, tech guys, people that have IPO'd companies, millionaires, billionaires, and you realize that like you belong in this room. Well, when you're around people that just see you as whoever, Mike, Dave, whatever, like your neighbors. I love my neighbors. I have some of the greatest neighbors in the world. They don't look at me and be like, oh, that's the CEO of this company. So, like daily affirmations, things like that. Like having a really strong, powerful daily affirmation just to remind you of who the fuck you are. I think that we as Marines, other veterans too, include everybody in this, I think that we forget who the fuck we are. And I think we need to remind ourselves, like pull up ChatGPT and be like, hey, help me write a fucking daily affirmation. Of just who the fuck you are. We're pretty badass, unbiased. Sure. Got the flag on the wall, tattoos, all that shit. Might be a little bit biased, but it's true. It's true. We committed to something. We made a decision to become a better version of ourselves, and we did. So we have that in us to become the better version of ourselves. So my day is every morning, coffee, daily affirmation, cigar. That's like every fucking morning, man. And I plan out exactly what needs to happen, what I need to execute on today. And I've said this before, even when it comes to whatever it is that you're doing, whatever it is that you're working on, the damn commandant of the Marine Corps is accountable to somebody. So don't feel like, because there's those things they say like, oh, Marines are self-starters. They're disciplined. They don't need direction. They don't know. The fuck we don't, dude. Have you ever seen like a gaggle of Lance Corporals together? Tell me we don't fucking need direction. We need guidance. We need direction. And so for me, having that accountability partner, every day, hey, this is what I'm going to do. Did you do it? Yes, I did it. Like those things are super, super important. And it's something that we're really good at, man. We're great at holding ourselves accountable when we give a fuck. I know it's like totally, I just went off on like a multiverse of answering your question about what a day looks like, but that's it, man. I mean, it's a little chaotic. It's controlled chaos, and it's just continuing pushing forward. Things pop up. We got to take care of it. Like, hey, Dave Holland's going to the Fredericksburg, March 13th. Hey, how can I get tickets? I don't fucking know. So then I start making phone calls to the museum, and the next thing you know, we're doing things. We have a whole event planned, and just keep pushing forward, man. Find that purpose. Find what you love. That's what I've done. I found a purpose. I found what I've loved, and continue to do it and help people. Just help people. Be a good person. Spend every day like being a good person. Don't. Here's that. Here, let me tell you something that doesn't happen in my day. I don't get in fights on Facebook. I don't doom scroll. I don't do the only time I'm on social media for the most part is when I'm posting something about my company or my podcast. That's it. That's what social media is a tool for me. It's not an entertainment. Because if it becomes entertainment for me, that means I'm using my time to compensate that person. I know I'm kind of maybe hurting our podcast stuff here. Like, fuck,
no, dude,
watch us.
No, shit.
Watch us.
You're talking to me personally. I'm like, okay, I fucking get you. Aye, sir.
No, but you guys can watch our shit. Our shit's good. Our reels are short, man. My reels are like 20 seconds. You can watch us on the shitter, But yeah, man, it's like, think about when you're spending time, when you're watching somebody's YouTube, man, like they're making money off your time. They're making money off your entertainment. And yeah, it's okay to go to movies and different, you don't have to be work all the time. You can have fun, but just always remember, are you spending your time? Or are you investing your time? And when I work from 8 o'clock in the morning to 1 o'clock in the morning, I'm investing my time in myself, my brothers, you, nonprofits. Just I'm investing that time in places. I don't spend my time on anything.
I love that. I love that. That's fucking awesome. That's fucking awesome, dude. I want to ask you that second part of the question, but I think I might say that for the last question. So let's go ahead and let's talk about purpose and legacy. If another veteran is struggling out there, what would you want them to hear?
Everything I just said for the past half hour or so.
There you go.
No, it's tough, right? I mean, I've been there. Again, I have no problem being open, transparent, thinking about ending it. I almost want to say, like, anybody that says that they haven't, it's full. Like, even if you've ever thought it would be better if you weren't here, or man, my life would be easier if I wasn't around anymore. I mean, that is technically suicidal ideation. And I think we've all had those thoughts before, but man, here's the thing, especially for any of us, I'm really like careful how I say this because I don't want it to not apply to other people. But like for those of us who came back and our buddies didn't. So if that's what if you're struggling with survivor's guilt or things like that, I'll talk about that. We owe it to them to live for those who no longer can, right? Like, we get to live, and that's what they would want. They wouldn't want us just moping around. They wouldn't want to see us down. They wouldn't want to see us in bad places. So, depending on where that person is in their life, if they're in a tough time because it's of like substances, talk to the VA. Like, I know VA has a bad rep, and I just had a couple bad experiences at mine too. Like, I get it. Like Neil and I say, you can reach out to us, man. You reach out to friends. Like, just reach out to fucking somebody first and foremost.
Yeah.
If things are bad financially, talk to somebody who's in a good place financially. Did you struggle? What were your struggles? How did you get through them? How did you get past them? I mean, I had it was like $1.10 in my bank account, like back in 2017. Overnight success doesn't happen overnight. It takes years to get here. So talk to people. Like, dude, you had $1.10 in your bank account. What'd you do? Started moving, started hustling. I started doing whatever I could. My back was against the wall. The number one thing, anybody that's struggling, is reach out. And dude, here's the thing too, man, is like successful people have this stigma about successful people that they don't want to talk to people that aren't successful. And successful people love sharing the path and teaching other people how to become successful. I can go, like Dan Fleischman, look him up. He's like the youngest dude to ever IPO a company. I went up and talked to him Friday. Like, who the fuck am I? Some dude with a beard and a fucking shirt that says Shakker. Like, who the fuck is this guy? Right? Hey, I want to get some time with you and talk. He's the youngest dude to ever IPO a company. Very successful guy. And the guy has time for me. So, and sometimes it sucks, man. Changing your environment, changing who you're around, changing who you hang out with. Like, if you want to sober up, don't hang out with people that drink.
Right.
If you want to get off drugs, don't hang around people that do drugs. Oh, those are my friends. Well, are they? I mean, are they actually your friends? Do they have your best interest in mind for you? Or are they just people that you do things to cope with? Say, if you, get around 9 millionaires, you'll become the 10th. So just get out of the house. I know I sound hypocritical saying that because, like, I only leave my house whenever I fly somewhere. But get out, get active, do things, talk to people, find people. Just don't stop moving. Just don't stop moving. One foot after another. Just keep going. And you'll find it. It might take a year or two, but it's better than not. It's better than staying static for the rest of your life.
Yeah. You got to stay your course.
Yeah.
When people talk about you 20 years from now, what do you hope they say about you?
I really hope that they say, like, that was one of the most genuine, authentic dudes I've ever met. If I needed something, I could call. When he said he'd do something, he did it. Keep his word. Help people out. Just that's kind of it, man. Like, the same thing I said, the reason I wanted to join the Marine Corps. This is those two Marines. How people looked at them, respected them. I mean, that's it, man. At the end of the day, if somebody was like, he's a good dude, man, he's one of the good ones. That's it. I'm good.
My second to last question, sir. This is going back to way in the beginning when I asked you the first part of this. So the first part went like this. What version of you walked into the Marine Corps? Here's the second part. And what version walked out?
Yeah, you know what? I'm way more prepared for that second question now that we're at the end, because now it's super easy to answer. The version of me that walked out was the me that was prepared to handle and do the shit I'm doing now. There's no way 17-year-old Mike could, I think, maybe, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, could be doing the shit that I'm doing now with confidence and, you know, just the Marine Corps, like that's the confidence, the leadership skills. And I think one of the things that makes it, you know, perhaps makes, you know, a lot of people do say, hey man, you're super genuine, real, authentic dude. We love that about you. You're one of the real ones. I mean, people do say that already. And I think one of the reasons they say that is because, you know, as we get closer, as Marines get closer, and even other service members, like one of my best friends is an Army dude, you know, Chris, love him to death. Shane, love him to death. He is an Army Ranger, just incredible dudes. And the closer we get, the more just our kind of open, honest ourselves we are. When I was at that event, super high level, all these people started talking about shit stories from our reels on TikTok. I got these people to open up and start telling me embarrassing shit stories about themselves. You know, I'm like, dude, I just met this chick and she's telling me about taking a shit like in the park, and some dog runs up and eats it. Like, God damn, dude. And she's like, don't use that on your podcast. I was like, fine, I promise I won't use it on my podcast. But you know, like everything that we've been through. So the version of me that came out, like unquestionably, undoubtedly, was the version that was prepared and built to handle this life, to handle what we're doing now.
Is there anything that you would like to plug at this time?
Before I plug, I want to say that I also think that that's probably applicable to like all of us. The version of us that came out of the Marine Corps is the version that's capable of handling anything, achieving anything, doing anything. It's not just me. Like, that's not just the version of me that came out. You know, come out broken, come out changed, come out with horrible memories, nightmares, you know, all of those things. But we also came out as the version of ourselves that can handle it. And I think that applies to everybody, man. I think that's so important. Plug-in, yeah. You know, the app, which thank you, by the way. I saw you downloaded it like a couple nights ago.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, real quick, I'll plug Shakker with 2 Ks, free app. So we designed this to where people do video introductions, recording themselves, because we want genuine, real, authentic connections, not AI bots, no AI videos. I'm tired of looking at social media and wondering, is that fucking real? You come to our platform, you see a video, it's real. They recorded it. They didn't upload it. And to my knowledge, we're the only social media platform out there that actually has a place for you to stamp and say, I'm a veteran. And that was important for us, was as a veteran business owner, when people are seeking to hire veterans, network, collaborate with veterans, I want us, our people, to be able to stand out and be acknowledged for their service and say, hey, I'm a veteran business owner. You're looking to hire an attorney, and it says veteran. Yeah, so we built this for everyone, but also specifically with veterans in mind, so that they can go on, collaborate, network with one another, and promote themselves to one another and civilians that love hiring veterans. Beyond the Call, incredible nonprofit, World War II, Beyond the Call, Tracy Hunter, phenomenal human being. Look them up. Shout outs to, Steve McLeod, awesome guy. Check out his book, Black Dragon, about 4th Marines in Iwo Jima, Tinian, Saipan. Steve is an incredible dude. The guy we just had on, John Parshall, has a book coming out, 1942, Crux of War. And what's so great, and the reason we support and love these guys so much, is because the history that they document and keep alive and keep pushing forward. Tim Gray is another one, his podcast. So all these guys, look them up, go support them, because they support the fuck out of us, and not just us, but those that came before, the giants whose shoulders we stood on. They keep their memory alive, their legacy alive. And let's be real, man. Like, would the Marine Corps be so fucking badass if we didn't have the memory of Iwo Jima, have the memory of Bella Wood, Guadalcanal, and it's guys like Dave and Steve and John that are keeping those memories, right, going. They're sharing, they're telling the stories, they're making documentaries, writing books. And so they help lift up one of the things that makes us so awesome, our tradition, our lineage, our legacy. So, show them a little bit of love back. Go check them out. Yeah, come check us out too, Tales from the Corps. Like, I like the podcast. It's pretty cool.
Well, man, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me and talk with us on Chat 62. It was a pleasure. I'm looking forward to keeping in touch with you. Thank you so much for all your advice and for your coaching when it comes to this new StreamYard app that I'm using. I can't wait to play around with it and see what I can do with it, see what kind of magic I can make with it.
Dude, it's awesome, man. I'm just, commented on one of our reels, and I checked you out, and I liked what you were doing. And I'm like, you know what? I want to get in touch with this guy. Like, because it's, again, right? Like, it's not like we're not fighting over views. We're not fighting, we're supporting one another. We're lifting one another up. And I love it. And I look forward to next time you being on ours and us doing all the questions. Because, like, dude, my mouth gets dry talking this much. I'm like, damn, you got me talking, man. You got me talking and telling more shit than I think I've ever said in like 2 years on fucking Tales from the Corps. So,
dude, it was fucking great, dude. Thank you so much for jumping on, dude. I'll let you go about your evening. I know I had you on for over 2 hours, so thank you once again, brother.
Man. Loved every second of it, man. Thanks, Eric. Appreciate it.
Over 4 episodes, Mike shared his journey from a young Marine searching for purpose to a veteran helping others find theirs. We talked about service, deployment, leadership, loss, brotherhood, transition, and the challenges that come after the uniform comes off. But if there's one message that carries through every chapter of Mike's story, it's this: keep moving forward. Mike, thank you for sharing your story with us and for everything you're doing to support veterans through Tales from the Corps and Shakker. And to everyone listening, whatever challenge you're facing, keep taking that next step. This is Chat 62. Stay the course, and remember, your story matters. Semper Fi. Struggling? You're not weak. You're human. Dial 988, then press 1 for the Veterans Crisis Line. Train support that understands veterans. Stay the course. Thank you, Ozzy.